which eat the most licorice in the world, with an average of 2 kilos eaten per person, for a total 32 million kilos each year. And I'm enjoying a piece right now. The 1985 Grand Prix would prove to be the circuit's last F1 event for over 35 years. Lauda, entering his final race, also went on to win. Hello to everyone here as well. Thanks for shouting out to our VIP guests. The last of which is banked at staggering numbers, making it quite
I think we've got some stability. Hello everyone. Apologies about that, my computer decided to take a crap on me.
Lovely. I hope it was at least a clean one, otherwise we would have been waiting a lot longer otherwise.
Yeah, not massively clean, but there we go, you can't really help it sometimes, can you?
No, that is very, very true. And yes, now that technology is, what's the word, finished releasing itself from all the buggy problems, we have got a qualifying session going on, where the fastest lap person at the moment, 10:10, thinks they've done such an amazing lap, and to be fair it is, that they are not going to set another lap time. That, and most of the top 10 actually are quite confident they cannot get any more in a field which is only covered by 11 tenths of a second. I don't know about you, Sun God, but this must be one for the stat books as a relatively close qualifying, as that guy's arrived at the last moment.
Yeah, so people like Aya at the bottom assumed it was just 15, but that guy was joining late, and Joseph Hales is also joining late. If Aya gets knocked out here, he'll feel hard done by. But there's not an awful lot we can do about that. He's joined late.
No.
So.
I mean, life happens. I mean, stuff gets in the way, and as long as you notify us in advance, we are more than an accommodating enough community. At least I think so, from the time I've been here anyway. How did, whilst we wait for some drivers to start a few flying runs, what happened last time for the amazing 7 people who may have not have seen the incredible Belgian Grand Prix in Tier 1?
I will get back to you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I've had to restart a lot, so I will get it up.
That's alright. Cool, yeah. That's fine. Oh yeah, I just remembered we did the 3 qualifying sessions. I'm so used to the other league where I commentate as well, where they just do the 1 qualifying, and then last one was a sprint, so I genuinely was wondering, why is everybody stopping so quickly? But that seems to be why, and at the moment, that guy's got the set lap time, but I is looking like on the danger, along with Greg, of being knocked out here, but it is looking competitive lap times so far. And it's a good way for 10-10 to carry on their race-winning momentum, as they did win the feature race.
Ever.
Worse?
I love text-to-speech, it's so funny.
Oh, isn't it such a brilliant voice? It just kind of makes the internet, doesn't it? I think it would be a lot more of a lonelier place if it didn't happen.
That was because TD subbed for 9 months. Thank you very much, TD, for the sub. Appreciate that.
That is the bestest choice you could ever make in the whole universe. And we do need about 11 more sub points. Basically, the more you subscribe to us for the longer amount of time, the more points we can get, and the more emotes you can use to react to anything stupid I say. So please, send us Twitch subscriptions and we will be more than happy to allow you to, what's the words, comment in a more visual way you may find appropriate. Well, looks like at the moment that guy is the only guy left to set a lap time. At the moment in 16th we have got Joseph on their merry way, but with the lap times approximately 1 minute, that guy's going to need to get out quickly, otherwise they might not have enough time. And I did just see some rain flash on the screen.
Oh,
So yes, it is starting to rain. So has that guy missed the boat. The boat has sailed off into the wet Netherlands countryside, I'm wondering, as Aya has somehow um, managed to stay through, and that guy and Joseph Hales, along with any other of our wonderful Tier 1 drivers who'll be arriving later on, before the start of the race, have been knocked out because of the rain. Hence explaining why we got some very quick lap times very early on. These drivers have a lot of intelligence these days, as opposed to F1 games of yesteryear. To be fair,
chat,
oh
if
yeah.
you're in the lobby, what's the weather doing? Are we? Is it heavy rain, light rain? How long's the rain for? Is it just in quali? Is it in the race? Let us know.
Yes, because wasn't it a bit of a moist Tier 1 Dutch Grand Prix? No
Oh,
assist, sorry.
all 36 laps was inters.
Oh, what?
And we had no brake boards at turn 8, I want to say,
Oh.
in sector 2. So yeah.
Oh, fun. And it's supposed to rain for the rest of the qualifying. Thank you so much, Cod Scampy, for letting us know. How bad is it? How bad is the moisture? Is it going to be intermediate? Is it full heavy rain? Or is the computer trying to lie to you as we've set it to approximate weather conditions? Thank you to all 9 of you who tuned in this early to watch a very nice graphic of the rain pouring down on the Zandvoort circuit pit entry. It's a very... that inters all wets. Oh, that is going to be a tantalising qualifying session. It could be a case of timing it right. Otherwise, you could be knocked out, and it looks like that guy and Joseph Hales are eliminated from Q1.
What about the race? Is the race dry? Any threat of rain in the race?
Please, we'd love to know.
Or dry, thank you.
Well, I don't know if everybody would cope with having through all our races this week being in the rain.
I don't know,
Do you enjoy the rain?
It's a thing of, do I enjoy it? Yes, in a way. Am I good at it? Yes, in a way. But would I prefer dry all the way? Yes, 100%.
In your way, fair enough, and that is understandable. I mean, no one wants to have, say, the rain come down, everybody bar like one driver has already changed onto, say, the inters, and then a safety car comes out, and that one guy who stayed out has managed to finesse everybody. That must be quite infuriating on their end, everyone else. So, it's time for the moist part of qualifying then. It is, oh, hello JJS. Hey, give it a good shot today, drivers. I'm watching with some snacks. That is very, very, very appropriate, given everything. And tried arms 3 hours of practice on Sunday. Massive respect, JJ. Massive respect. Massive respect. May want to take over Sunday as we've got a shed load of cars flocking out the pits.
Who do you want to watch, Malbro?
I think we may want to start with the first out, as it is TD, who's decided to run on the soft tyres, so clearly thinking it's not that bad.
first out is 10-10.
Yes. That's what I said. So
yeah, so this is the crossover point then in the wet conditions where everyone's going out on the softs because the softs will be theoretically quicker in this stage of quali. Whereas the longer these guys wait to set a lap, the inters will be the quicker tyre. So everyone will be hoping that they can get a good lap here immediately on the soft compounds before the rain ruins these conditions, basically.
it dampens on their parade. I gotta say, it was a very close qualifying in the dry. So let's see if the rain can liven things up there. We are gonna go flying through turn 1. Nice and controlled there from last race winner for Tier 1. Coming through the famous banked corner. As we can see, they are absolutely on a good roll at the moment. But we'll see how this whole race unfolds. Going through the famous downhill section. It's quite a twisty lot in the dry. You're usually very flat out. A lift off through here, but in the rain, you're just very, very careful on that throttle. You do not want to touch a single curve, as it can result in a classic spin. But this is a fantastic hat from 1010 so far. The DRS has been disabled. Suddenly turned into a one-shot qualifying session out of nowhere. And if the drivers are not careful, they could be at the risk of being eliminated from qualifying. And it is despite fault positions. The top 10 will advance. And levels down to 15 will be eliminated. But let's see what this Haas can do. They were fastest in Q1. Coming around the final corner. It is going to be a little bit slower because of the conditions, but it's a 1:17.3. It's a fairly good lap. Everyone else has to catch up. We've got Craven. We've put on 17.4. We've got Cod Camper on an 18.3. Jakob on an 18.7. Richie on an 18.7. We've got Deflated Wee on a 17.7. We've got Jelly Bantam on a 17.8. TD on an 18.3. Josh across the line just now with a 17.9. There's a yellow flag, but don't worry, they're letting each other through. Who else is still a lap time that I've not yet commented? Greg with an 18.3. We've got Barbar with an 18.5, Padge with an 18.6, and Snacks with a 19.4. IIRL Snacks Verstappen has, in the moment, in the drop zone, which is not ideal in front of their home audience. I'm sure everybody watching at Netherlands will be especially keen for Snacks to bring home the goods to the country of the orange. But Smaller Smiley is taking a gamble here, and will they be smiley about this decision? We'll find out in just a few laps, as they are opting for the intermediate tyres, thinking they will be faster. And Aya is last there with a 20.2. Golly, that was a mouthful. Oh, Aya is spun, but no damage. No damage sustained to the number 94 Aston Martin there. Golly, I need a drink after that.
Yeah, this is just the frantic session. Q1 was basically just get a lap and retire. This session is get a lap, then basically retire because you won't be able to improve. So it's a very odd quality set, especially if you mess up your lap. If you mess up your lap, you'll be kicking yourself right now.
Very much, you'd be kicking yourself in the arse indeed. And what I don't know if you spotted this, Sun God, but I noticed that the drivers who were out earlier typically got a faster lap time. I mean, 1010 was the one we watched, and he was the one who went out first. He ended up getting the fastest time, whereas, say, some of the drivers who were later in the queue, on average, set slower times. But interestingly, they've decided, as we may want to go on board with the Alfa Romeo, great job there, Stat God, for putting us already on the Alfa Romeo. But I'm wondering if Smaller, yes, and a purple sector 1 here, this could be a flying lap, and I'm wondering if everybody switching to the inters, it could go faster, given the fact that Smaller Smiley is on the right tyres in the conditions and is going purple here. On the Twitch chat, we've got TD, that was not nice. I can imagine it's not very nice driving around in the rain on the soft tyres. I can understand. And a dumb network, says Snacks. So, I'm not sure what network you're part of, but you may need to have a little rejiggy of the internet settings. The Alfa Romeo is going faster and faster. I think their smile is going to be touching their ears. They'll be so happy with this lap. Coming around the final banked corner. No DRS flap. Will they be kicking themselves? Yes, to the top of the time sheets. 16-7. Wow, that is an electric.
Usually, you get a quicker lap on the softs than the engine. So,
I wonder if Electronic Arts have been fiddling around with the code, maybe, perhaps, and wanting to change the properties based on some real-life performances where drivers have turned their tides into the Pirelli Interslips. I'm wondering.
what was next? So, when the purple sector pops up on the track map, it's quite deceptive. Because it doesn't necessarily mean that you've actually gone purple, so... this is no disrespect to smaller, but when you set that purple sector, I was like, I still don't trust it though. But, sorry, 6
really? So is it a bit inaccurate? Is it more to do with the game's end then?
It's been coded as a game for many years now. If you get a purple, it could be because you've gone purple, it could be because it's your best lap. Session, so, yeah.
I see. But it looks like we have got 2 drivers on a lap right now. We have got one, sadly, spinneroo from Richie on the Tarzan corner. We have got Jakob, who is up by over a second here, is the Ferrari, over a second and a half up on their personal best, which could put them in a strong position. As coming through the final set of corners, it looks like now Jakob is setting a very competitive time in these intermediate conditions. It's strong enough to move into second. Pasola Smiley has been taken off first as 10-10 goes on to position the pole with a 16-1. Oh my goodness. Right, the lap times are coming down now. Right, we've got Deflated up by 9/10. We've got Snacks doing a great job for the Dutch faithful, getting a 16.4 in these conditions. We've then got Deflated Wee, boosting all the way to the line. It's a 16.2, very competitive for the all-important pole position. We've got TD up to 5th, Baba in, was 7th, but Jellyman Tim setting a very good 1 minute 16.2. And yeah, it's all looking very quick. Greg with a 16.9. Anything we're missing? Cravenous. He is up to 10th with a 17.2. So I don't know about you, Stackdog, but it's looking very tight. It's tighter than getting on a public bus at 8 AM in the morning to go to work. But we've got Josh LFC now riding through the final corner, and it looks like this could be a good lap. It is good enough for 6th, there's 16.6 there, as Cravenous has jumped up to 4th place, and I think Snacks is coming in. So overall, I'm wondering if these conditions, the drivers might feel confident for another go, especially if the race is expected to be dry.
You're in this weird flux of the session where we really have no idea what's going on at the moment. All we know is it's where the drivers can improve on meters, and you know, it's up to the drivers now to get that lap time on the board and try to fit between as many people as possible.
It is tough when they're all doing, the same laps at the same point in time. I think is Craven's run. Greg. Aha! Aye, I think we can see him. number 94. See a nice smooth exit out of the bank corner. This Grand Prix circuit, which has hosted F1 Grand Prix basically since the 1950s. It was there on every year of this championship until 1985, where it lost funding. Came back in 2021. But for Aya and the Aston Martin, they do need to find a little bit of time. But you never know, if the conditions are improving for the intermediates, there's nothing to say Aya couldn't improve. It's looking like a faster lap time. They did manage to do a very good save, in fairness. They're up by 2 seconds according to the time delta on my screen, but... And yeah, they wanted it, they were hungry, weren't they? Oh dear, and that's Aya. I think they've got time for one more run, if they're willing to risk it. They haven't got enough... Have they got enough fuel in the car, I wonder? Let me have a look. Yes, they do, so they can go for another run, which is good. Good to see they have planned it, and I think someone else who is on a push run is the Cod Camper is in. We've got an AlphaTauri. Are they starting a run, or are they ending it? They're ending it. The other Aston Martin is about to start off Snacks. Snacks Eaststappen is on a run with a 16.4. Their time is good enough, but obviously I think every racer wants to be the fastest in every session possible. Let's see, I'm going to be out, I think. There's no need to be negative manifestation around here, TD. You got to keep putting the laps in, and you never know, you're in 9th at the moment, so who knows? It's a long way to go. 2 minutes can seem a long time when you're in a session that you have to, what's the word, get a wiggle on. And if it's going to be drying the race, then it may be worth using a fresh pair. Deflated Wee has decided to opt out of the session. Pretty confident in a 16.2, and I wouldn't disagree against them. Cravenous has also joined them in the retired party for qualifying 2. Hugo Boss sponsored Aston Martin is navigating through the corners, but I noticed a little bit of a traction struck turning things that could be a car characteristic. Downside to the Aston Martin, but rolling through the final corner now. Snackstappen is coming to the line. It's not quite enough, but they have got enough fuel to set one more lap. If they can get a wiggle on, they could just about pull it off.
I think the track's not improving anymore. I think it's too
it's a bit too damp. Because, yes, I think Snack's lap was generally quite good. Let's see. Is there... Oh, having said... Oh, that was last lap, never mind. Yep, I can totally see that happening. I don't think... Who's coming up to a sector gate we can reference from?
Smaller Smiley. It's just come through the first sector and 3/10 down, so... I think it is a little too wet.
And had a slide, yes, and they had a little skid on the exit curb there off that corner. It could be, and at this stage, without a minor miracle, it looks like Barber, Padge, Richie, Codcamper and Aya will be knocked out in the second part of qualifying. That's not a bad thing, because they get to have 10 minutes to make their favourite little pre-race snack, like tea and toast, or... So that's not a bad thing, it comes with its advantages. Yeah, I can confirm that. Barbar's down a second, and I don't think it's driving related. It could be just dampness related. So, it looks like 10-10 is on provisional pole, getting pole position in the first 2 phases of qualifying, with Deflated Wee hot on his Haas. I was going to say 10-10 or some kind of like 10 or 1, but it didn't quite work out in the end. With the Jellyman 3rd, Cravenous in 4th, Snacks, the home hero, in 5th, Josh in 6th place, Smaller Smiley in 7th, Greg in 8th, TD is going to come across the line. Let's see if they can improve. They don't think so, but they are through in 9th. And Jakob in the Ferrari has secured 10th place there. So we're going to be saying bye-bye to the Haas of Baba Jr., Padge, Richie, Codcamper and Aya. Having said that, Aya has found some time about 3/10 worth actually. They found about 2 seconds of improvement. If they can find another 3/10 in this sector on top of their previous gain, they could get into 14th place. Let's see, the Aston is coming through, and it is an improvement, but not quite enough, I'm afraid. And those drivers we mentioned, Padge, Richie, Codcamp and I, have to sit out the third and final part of qualifying.
It was a very odd session where everyone went out on the soft tyres initially and did 18s, which is fair enough. Don't blame the drivers for that. But then all of a sudden you could go a second or two quicker on the inters before the rain got heavier. So yeah, that was an odd session.
That is a very odd session. Have you ever seen or experienced a session where, in interchangeable conditions, the wets are faster?
Not in recent memory. And I've streamed a lot of races.
Fair enough, I can imagine you've got tales to tell.
I changeable conditions. So yeah, that doesn't look, 2.2 seconds off. It doesn't look pleasant for you, but it's changeable conditions.
Exactly, and the thing is, the advantage of being at the back is you get to avoid all the chaos of turn 1 because you can just take it back. It's a tight turn 1 at Sandvort, especially the first sector, and you pinch into turn 3, I believe it is. That is often a prime point for an accident. If you're coming off lap 1, trying to sneak a move around either the in or the outside, with how wide F1 cars are getting and heavy they are, it's it can cause a safety car or two. Don't worry, TD, just be happy, man. You're through to the third part of qualifying, which seems to be even moister than the previous part somehow. I'm not too sure how that's happened. What tyres are they going to go on? With the previous session in mind, are they going to roll with the intermediates, or are they going to choose the wet tyres?
Before Q3 gets in the way, let's have a look at last week. We had a sprint race in Belgium. This is after penalty calculations, so Josh won the sprint race by not a lot at all, 10-10, just less than a second back. CM21 had a really good sprint race as well, qualified well, but finished third in that one. Jellyman Tim was the standout. He's got sprint driver of the day. Moving on to the real race, 10-10 took the race victory, switching around from Josh, and took the fastest lap as well with the 26 points. Here's the incidents that happened after the race with the steward report. So Deflator, we got a dangerous driving penalty. Smaller Smiley got CAC and DD penalty, so not a good day for Smaller last week. And Jacob got a CAC as well, but because of DNF that will be served tonight. So Jacob will have a 10-second penalty added on to his finishing time this evening.
Whoa, that's going to be so it looks like they may want to play the conservative strategy. I mean, if you had a massive penalty to serve, would you opt for as least stops as possible?
I said just do your race and just hope that it's easy to get caught up in stuff in this track, whether you spin on a curb or whether you're involved in a battle and you're forced off track and you lose time. There is opportunities to lose time at this track, so the best strat is just race your race and see what happens.
Yes, and always remember to finish first. You first have to finish. Hello, Baba. I hope you're having I hope you enjoy Q3 and watching. I believe it'll be your teammate at the moment, who is purple by proximity, being the first car out on the circuit at the moment. And that one curb in the middle sector. Indeed, that is going to be a spicy, spicy curb for some action. I think we should secretly install a little camera on the curb itself. But regardless, there is a yellow flag for a Mercedes. I wonder if they're on a push run there, TD. And it didn't lead to anything for now, but the Haas is coming around the final few corners, and it looks like it's going to be an opening gambit of the 17.0, so very respectable there from 1010 Snacks with a 17.4. The next car coming up to the line is going to be Greg. I'm sure they'll want to try and aim for pole position. I don't know which driver wouldn't want to, but the AlphaTauri sets at 18.2 and deflated wee. Looks like they want to redeem themselves from last race and sets a 16.7, a brilliant lap time. The two Alfa Romeos working brilliantly in unison with Jellyman. Skizamar getting a 17.7 and Smaller Smiley with an 18.1. There, Jakob with an 18.1 as well, just under hundredths shy of beating Smaller Smiley. We've got Greg with an 18.2, TD I think on a warm-up run there with a 50.3, and Cravenous has yet to leave. We have got Joseph Hales asking the weather for the race, but my pal on the TwitchCom already answered that question.
Yeah, TD.
While we're waiting.
Really a 1 minute 50 lap time. He'll be pleased with that one.
Yeah, I
he's
think
going again.
that...
He is 10th up in first sector.
That's good. You know, that's obviously, you know, an improvement is an improvement, and I'm sure that this lap time of a 150 will be massively smaller, and it'll make TD a lot more smiley as we are coming through the next set of corners going into sector 3. They found 25 seconds almost of improvement. This could be a competitive lap time here as they are coming through the final right-hander combo. Takes a little bit of a late braking on the penultimate corner of the course, but does a nice job rounding the final corner. Let's see what the Mercedes can do. It's a 17.6. That should slot them comfortably in the middle of the pack there, and I'm sure they'll be pleased with that.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be a bit happy about that. He was quite self-critical in Q2. Felt like he was lucky to get through, but you know, when you time it like that and get a bit lucky with the weather, you know, a bit of luck never hurt anyone, did it?
Exactly, it never hurts anyone. Indeed, Joseph, you can look forward to doing a Hail Melon and go from last to first, and if you could do that, well, then you'll get more tips of my hat than at my graduation ceremony. But regardless, we are going to see now, I think it is not Snacks, the driver on a run, I believe, is some sort of Red Bull is pushing.
No, we got Greg on a lap as well.
Oh, have we? Have we got Greg on a run? Right, provisionally, we've got... Where's Greggy, Eggy, and Becky? Okay. Greg is flying, but has got a bit of traffic who, bless their souls, have darted out of the way. This lap could put Greg up into P7, splitting the Alfa Romeos. I'm sure it would be good for them. Runs wide on the final corner though, and around the last corner now. There's no DRS flaps due to the moist weather, but it's a 18.0, and that has indeed split the Alfa Romeos, and I believe there's a 10th found up the front, and it could be enough for Josh to take pole position.
Ooh.
It's not, but it's really close.
Ever heard singing coming from the Alpha garage? Some say that's legendary.
So 10 starting a lap, Venicus starting a lap as well.
Indeed, I'm sure there'll be cleverness to get a pole position. It's going to be like a box of cravings, I think. Both drivers have shown a lot of quick pace so far, and I think they'll want to put a resistance to the Red Bull domination that can happen when you've got two great drivers operating in a very quick car. No, I think you've done better, TD. Don't you worry. You've done better than that in the past, I'm sure. And as we can see now, we have got the Haas taking a very good wide line. A lot of skill when you go in on the wide part, because obviously, I don't know if you can comment once this lap's done, but if you take the wider line, you could be in danger of touching the curbs and then losing traction out the car. It is a 2/10 gain, which is provisionally, roughly, the fastest in the first sector. Meanwhile, Cravenous, we can't see yet because they've not done a previous stuff for comparison, but around the final corner comes 10-10 in the Haas. Can he put his MoneyGram machine to money pole position? He can, with a 16.6, and Cravenous in the background with a 17.7. But that is a very fast lap, as we've got Jacob on a lap.
Yes, one thing we haven't mentioned yet, Homeboy Hero Snacks tonight is sponsoring our stream with a £10 fastest lap. As we see Jacob have a nice little controlled slide into turn 3. Made designed to back out of that.
It's obviously Jacob wants the fast slap voucher. That's what it is. I think they were so excited at that. They just wanted the fast slap and a little drift to warm up for the fastest lap attempt.
So Joseph, if it's not going well for you, you have a plan B. Fastest lap.
It is a whopping £10, and I'm sure that £10 will come in handy. I mean, who doesn't want to have a free £10 to buy some F1 turbo attacks, or even spend it on some wonderful Bitcoin if you want to, and get yourself the current season on the game, or maybe wait until next season. But the Mercedes of Cravenous has found a lot of time, but has opted to go into the pit lane. So they were provisionally in purple, and I'm wondering, Sun God, for your opinion on this, but it has stopped raining in the sky, and it's a bit damp on the circuit.
Yeah, Snacks said earlier in the chat that it might dry up. We're just seeing now the rain has stopped. I don't think it's ready for slicks at all. Only 2 minutes left of session, so people are going to be coming out of the pit lane in the next 10 to 15 seconds if they haven't already. So I don't think it's ready for slicks, but I think the inters, a new set of inters, will be the time to be on right now.
Yes, and you think about it, everybody only did what, 2 laps on the soft, so that does free them up quite a lot tyre-wise for the race. What would you say the default plan is around Zandvoort? Is it a 1-stop or a 2-stop or a...
It just depends. I don't think the tyre day is as high on this track as other tracks. So it should just be a simple 1-stop, to be honest. As for which 1-stop, I think there's different choices. But it's all about your own individual preference. We might see a few drivers doing different things this evening.
As we've got Joseph Hales and Top Gun arriving. That should make for a very fun race, and we've got JJ saying the stream is less jumpy. Well, thank you so much for the good work. Well, don't blame me, but let's praise our Sun God over here for managing to sort the stream out in record time and allow us to enjoy this final part of qualifying, as the dry line is starting to show up. There's a lot of rain on circuit that's still standing. It looks like Snacks is the first driver to go on a push lap within this set of drivers, or is there someone a bit closer? There is deflated. Greg.
Actually,
okay, yeah, I think it is deflated. Yeah, he has found 2/10. This is provisional pole position. That's made up to 4/10. The track is absolutely drying up at a rate of knots. Any moment now, this could be a pole position for one lucky driver out of these 10. Cravenous has decided to retire. Will that be costly, as there is time to be found on this track? This is the last lap. Deflated goes on to provisional pole with a 1:16.1. Next across the line is Gregory. Across the line comes the Alpha Tauri, and it's a 17.4. Time is clearly shrinking now. The lap times are going to get faster and faster. Jakob has aborted their lap, so it is The home hero snacks, supporter of the stream. Can they go to pole position? No, but it's a very good run to second place there. Got the Alfa Romeo across the line. Jellyman Tim. Aww. So that only leaves
It's 10-10 next.
Josh and 10-10. Actually, they're right next door to each other, actually. So this is going to be very close coming to the end of qualifying. And okay, so it's just Josh.
And he's 6/10 up. It's what he needs.
Oh, this is exactly what the British driver needs. Could they steal pole position from their teammate? Are they going to deflate Wii spirits? We're coming around the final corner to see. It's a very composed and calm lap from Josh.
Oh,
and it's a no. With a 16.014. Just over a 10 faster than deflated Wii. Snacks in third with a 16.2. Then it's 10-10 with a 16.6. Greg with a great lap there with a 17.4. TD with a 17.6. We've got Cravenous with a 17.7. Jellyman Tim with a 17.7. Smaller Smiley with an 18.1. And Jakob will be starting last with an 18.1.
TD, I'm not hearing it tonight. Your Colin's sick. That's a lot better than previous races. So, yeah.
Well, you actually can't hear it because you're talking in the live stream, aren't you?
Well, I can hear TD's voice. I know exactly what it was saying, how he's going to say it. I know him quite well.
I see. So, can we verify that their flag is it their identity or is it not? Because it's quite a unique flag from what I've seen.
It isn't. TD's British.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm curious as well.
It's just decided to run around in flag, like me.
I see.
For no reason.
Is it because you're a massive Zane Maloney fan who represents the Barbados in Formula 2? No. You just thought it just sounded cool. You want to come from the Caribbean, man, yeah?
That's what I meant to go.
Yeah, man, I understand. It looks like we've got Josh on pole then with an incredible lap ahead of his teammate who'll be a little bit deflated, not starting on pole position. Yoski, we got a few fist bumps from Steely. I would fist bump back to you, Steely, but, you know, technology, I can't do that. We're not doing this on the metaverse, so therefore, there's not much we can do. Looks like all the rain's disappeared. That's such a shame.
And at pole position for Josh puts him on to 20 pole positions.
20, and how many of those have come from Tier 1, approximately?
All of them. He only races Tier 1.
Oh, only? I was going to make a thing of, there's multiple divisions, but it shows you what I know.
And Josh is within one pole position away from the record, currently held by Mr. Wiggles. Small Smiley's left, and
do you need to invite them then?
And he's been disqualified. Formation lap, and Josh is driving into. I think there's going to be a restart.
Oh dear.
So.
It's chaos. It's turned into burnout, takedown. Oh dear. Let's have a look. Who could be the last one to survive? Oh, it's chaos. Everybody's crashing out into each other. The drivers are going on strike. Let's see who's going to be the last one to stay in the formation lap. Josh is going to get an excellent lead off the line. Greg is doing a great job in second place. But meanwhile, Barbar's up to third. What a great start for 11th place. Richie is in fourth. That's a good attempt from them on the medium tyres, it seems. We've got the Ferrari of Jakob doing a great job to overcome their penalty in 5th place here, with the Aston Martin of Aya in 6th. And we've got the McLaren of Codcamper in 7th. It's only going to be 7-point score finishes. That's pretty close to Monaco 1996 levels here, as everybody else has gone on strike and decided to play Burnout instead, which is a much better game than this one. Looks like the possible race strategy for the remaining 37 laps is going to be a one-stop of some variation, and I think, I couldn't agree with you more, it's just going to win the Formation Lap Grand Prix. He's just got one more corner to go, and unfortunately he has to grid up, but Greg is approaching behind. It's going to be really close to the line. There's no way to separate the two. Is Greg gonna win? He's overtaken him. Unbelievable scenes. And Greg has won the Formation Lap Grand Prix here at the Netherlands. And Josh has pulled over. He's run out of fuel. And it looks like the Haas of Barbar's moved to the second. And he's doing donuts. He's throwing the championship away. Jacob's moved up into third. Actually, he'll probably drop down to fifth because of the penalties. But Josh takes fifth place, sorry, because Barbar's there. Oh, what an interesting Grand Prix that was. See you all next week.
Restarted lobby.
Yeah, that's why. In case if TD's wondering, I actually bothered to stay and watch the rest of the thing.
In case Malbro wasn't aware, we are restarting.
I wasn't aware, no. Oh, God. Right, I need to go to the loo after that. Make sure I'm not driving. Hold on. Of course, you gotta have a bit of fun in life, haven't you? Hold on. Right, I am spectating. I'm not going to be driving. Cool. Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes.
So, if you are in this lobby, make sure you pick your car immediately so that we can get across the grid up and away. Obviously, with restarted lobbies, you're going to have brand new sets of tyres. So everyone will pretty much have a numerous amount of new compound tyres. Please use the same setup that you used in quali. Not fair to switch between the two with bump firmate on. That's not realistic in real life and shouldn't be something that we do in either. So. You asked me how I was, Steely. I'm very well. Thank you. I'm very well. Let's take this opportunity then to have a look at the feature driver, which is boom, Jellyman Tim, a man after my own heart, a lover of jelly, and he's called Tim. Feature driver, in case you're new around here, is a feature we do at IIRL to get to know our drivers a little bit better. We feature one every week or once per race, something like that. A way for us to get to know our drivers and give us someone to maybe focus on their race when it's their turn to be featured driver. So Jellyman Tim is 35 years of age, from London, the capital city of England.
Best country.
He works as a mastic man. Now, I had to research this. It's a person who, I've forgotten. It's like to do with sealant. So you know when, like, say, your bath starts leaking and you need sealant to fix it.
Yeah.
That's what a mastic man is basically. It's kind of manual labour, fixing stuff up. Hopefully, I've done your job justice.
All the mastic men in the world, let's give them a massive round of applause because every homeowner probably needs to call a mastic man over, and it's a very essential job. I mean, I can say from personal experience, you know, all the times baths have leaked, and it's just the worst. And having wonderful people like mastic men and women around always makes life a lot easier.
Certainly, here is a posh name for a crack cylinder. Yes, but we're not talking about the drugs.
We're just talking about the Haas F1 team's cracks in the 2023 campaign. That's the only crack sealant that needs to be needed.
You can't seal them, don't worry. Smaller needs to pick a car.
He does. Smaller, pick your car, please.
Anyway, hobby interests for Jellyman include F1, golf, and he used to play for Palmer's FC, which is a YouTube football team. Racing on a wheel. Didn't say which one. Maybe it's a secret. Favourite driver, Sebastian Vettel. We've had a lot of feature driver submissions whose favourite driver is Sebastian Vettel.
You think it's because he's causing a buzz with all this environmentalistic stuff he's been doing with the bees?
Best track is Zandvoort. So I've timed that really well on accident.
I thought that was planned.
No, absolutely not planned at all. I just decided he's here tonight.
Trying to pick you up.
If anything, I was biased because his name's Tim. that was the reason. Anyways, his strengths include not crashing on track, and his goals for the season anywhere in the points. Interesting fact, he is Chuck Norris's love child.
The less said about he really means Lando Norris, but he just had a spelling error and typed in Chuck for some reason.
Do you know Chuck Norris? Do you know who he is?
No.
So
no.
I am approaching my 30s, and when I was in school, so about 15, 16 years ago, something like that.
Oh wow.
Chuck Norris was a meme, and there was a series of jokes going on that you could be as good as anything, but Chuck Norris is better, and it doesn't matter what it is. And it was just a meme. Like, for instance, you could say, "Oh well, Max Verstappen's a 3-time world champion, but he's got nothing on Chuck Norris." That's the kind of meme and joke series that Chuck Norris is. So it's purely intended to be a joke about Chuck Norris.
I see. So Lando Norris is literally, by his surname, then Chuck. He's never as good as Chuck. Obviously, Chuck obviously inspired him to go down this career path. Obviously.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah, that's. He'll never compare to his father, though. I mean, what a racer he was. Was good old Chuck. Uncle Chuck. Right. Apparently, in terms of the. Do I want to mention the constructors, or is everybody going to feel a bit sad about the amazing job that Red Bull have done up to this point? On 339 points, with a gap of 140, Haas did really well in Belgium, in fairness to them as well, and are just up to 200, almost there. They will, provided they get one car in the top 10 today, with AlphaTauri in third, Aston Martin in fourth, Alfa Romeo kicking themselves into the top half, and maybe kicking themselves the fact they could be in front of the Cognizant team. Mercedes down in sixth, Williams in seventh, Alpine in eighth, so they're collapsing, a bit like the Rio team when they fired up Miles Afnauer. Ferrari in ninth, and McLaren down in 10th. Oh, that's sad. But no. Things rise and fall. I mean, McLaren 2015 was an interesting time to be an F1 fan. Hey, it could be worse, Cod Camper. I actually researched, apparently in football there's a club called Airbus FC, based on the airplane company, and in the Premier Division of the country they were based in, they only scored 4 points all season long. So, considering they've finished that season, and we've got a load of amazing races lined up, you're not as bad as Airbus. If in doubt, think of Airbus. Right. Yeah, exactly, JJ. The Adrian Newey mod is installed. But if it was the Adrian Newey mod, it would, favour one driver, so I'd say it's just the Max Verstappen mod has been installed to both cars, and they've just been... well, very good. But an honourable shout-out has to go to 1010 as well, because he's keeping up with this title fight very close. And George Plaster, but I believe they're a reserve, are they not?
George started off as a full-time driver, but had to drop to reserve due to work commitments.
Fair enough. The Derby County of F1.
That's being kind to Derby County, to be honest.
To be fair, my father's a Nottingham Forest fan, so saying that's not... Derby's a really dreadful name to speak of in my family, that's for certain. I'd be happy if I get 4 points at the end of the season. Hey JJ, don't worry, I think you could do better than Airbus. I mean, Airbus FC they were something else, so they were dreadful. I actually saw a game with them, and it was really embarrassing. You're welcome for the advice, and thank you for the follow. Do I even try and say that username?
Zyoxa on YouTube.
Follow, I wonder, I think they want people to follow them on YouTube by shouting us out, so... But you have increased our follower goal, so we're not going to complain. I disagree, I think our driver's just as fast as Verstappen. I don't name the other than drivers more like me. You'll get more than 4 points, buddy, 100%. You'll get more than 4 points. Actually, Airbus are such a failure, they decided to sponsor Caterham, and that's the only time they ever bothered showing up in F1. and Caterham went bust. So, there you go. I know. I don't want to get your hopes off the ground. I don't want to get anyone's, like negative pessimism, like flying, like thinking, oh, I'm gonna be bad. And no, because everybody can be good. I mean, we've seen races, I'm sure you know, Sun God, that over so many laps, many wonderful, crazy things can happen. And it can either be the best feeling in the world or the worst.
Yeah, or a bit both. You can have races that start off an absolute nightmare that turn into be the best race of your career.
It looks like we got a rainbow of tyres. So that's lovely to see. Right, we have got then, as this formation lap is being taken more seriously. Right, here we go, time rundown. We've got Josh on the hards, Deflated Wee on the mediums, Snacks on the hards, 1010 on the mediums, Greg and TD on the hards, Cravenous on the mediums, Jellyman Tim on the hards, Smaller Smiley on the softies, Jacob on the hards, Barbara on the mediums, Padge on the hards, Richie on the mediums, Cod Camper and Aya. I'm so sorry, I can't say the full username on the hards. That guy's been disqualified, so he's obviously taking it as a burn-up session then on the mediums, with Top Gun, who didn't show up to qualifying, on the hards, and Joseph Hales doing a Hail Melon here on the soft tyres. What are your thoughts on that, Son God?
I expect Deflated to take the lead. I expect 1010 to be up there. Those hard tyres take usually about a lap on this game, give or take a few sectors to properly warm up, and I reckon around lap 2 or 3, Josh and Snacks and Greg and TD will be a bit more comfortable on those hard compounds. So Avenicus you can see going up the field, you can see Smaller making moves on those soft, you can see 1010 and Deflated first and second. Out of lap 1. But most importantly, don't forget, we have Tenor on the line for the fastest lap of the race. Thank you very much, Snacks, once again.
Thank you for treating us with your wonderful snacks. Yes, thank you for your snack.
And that's the same for Sunday night as well. 82. It's our last 82 race for 3 weeks on Sunday. So make sure you tune in.
And you press attend.
The next 2 weeks are cancelled because of in real life races clashing. So, in case I forget to say it later on.
That's all right. We'll drum it into their heads by the end. There might be a safety car where we just spam that message over and over. Let's see who's going to be the camera victim today. Nobody's got an ultra nice angle, so we will focus on the front. It's a Red Bull front row at the Dutch Grand Prix. Our home hero and sponsor saviour, Snacks, is in 3rd place. Let's see, we're gonna have the 10 red dots are about to go out. Here at the Circuit Design Vault, the iconic Dutch Grand Prix is a go, and it's a wheel spinny start for Josh. He's been spun almost right around. A deflated wheel goes around the right-hand lane, and does a beautiful job covering off his teammate. Meanwhile, Snacks managed to keep on the 3rd. Everybody's made it through turn 1 nice and cleanly there. You love to see it. Nobody's playing bumper cars. That's a great move there. He's been Padge-tastic and been tagged by someone, but he's okay. He's kept the car in one piece. That's a good, okay start. Surprisingly, only 1 takedown, which is impressive considering how narrow the circuit is. But I is going for it at the back. Oh my goodness, trying to go on the left of Cod Scampi, and the Williams of Top Gun is flying through. Up into 14th. What a great pattern in the background this is. Up the front end, there's not much going on, but Deflated did exactly what he needed to do, and that is the Red Bull number 54 in front. Snacks, the homeboy hero, is doing a great job in 3rd place there, with 1010 in 4th, pushing really hard on those mediums to get past him very quick, with Greg on the hards and Smaller Smiley down in 8th place, looking like to get an overtake on. They're going to move to the right-hand lane, using a lot of DRS, and I think they'll be getting past TD any second. Indeed, a start it was. Oh, that's a little bit close. Trying to kick a space in, but they might not be there. But the Mercedes stays in front of the Ferrari of Joseph Hales, who's trying to do a Hail Mary. How the heck did Joseph climb from last to 9th?
Yeah,
what a start that was.
He had a monster sector 1 on lap 1 and gained like 4 places in the opening couple of corners, and then just started picking them off in sector 2 with the extra grip available with those soft compound. And he's
Oh, the softs are getting a little bit aggressive there. I saw a bit of touchy.
He's nudged
Touchy-feely going on.
And just needs to be a bit more patient.
He does. The hail melon has worked. You can't hail melon for a whole race, otherwise it's not really a hail anymore. It's just more of a melon, really.
Yeah,
right.
Joseph's got the grip and he's got the pace. He just needs to take it steady now, get into a rhythm.
Yes.
It doesn't matter if you spend an extra lap behind Smaller Smiley here. You're on the same compound tyre.
You should probably want to work together. Oh, he's going to go on the left-hand side. He's not listening to the stream. He should be following us on Twitch. But regardless, he's made a tumble move.
Smallest tagged Greg's TD's wheel.
Oh, and TD's gone off. Oh, what a save. What a great save. But I'm sure this will be investigated. It looks like Joseph was... What's the way to phrase this? Was going for the gaps, making a fast and furious charge, and I think there'll be 2 cars behind who'll have something to say about that later on in the steward's room. Whoever the steward is, I hope they've got a cup of coffee, because if this is how it's going to be, they're going to be for a long run like this. Oh no, he's around.
He was having a fight with Barbar. I wonder if there was any contact between Barbar and Smaller Smiley.
Well, Barbar was on the medium, so maybe Smaller, after the the Joseph Hales moment, maybe they wanted to kind of gain some positions back quickly, but perhaps maybe converting it into a 2-stop if they, are that far down the field. They've not got much to lose. Indeed, Steely, that was a start and a half for the Red Bulls, and for everyone else involved. There's a good little fight going on for 4th, I think, unless there's some overtakes going on. But whoa, that was close there from Cravenous, trying to get past TD. Smaller Smiley has got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's just one of those days, isn't it, where nothing goes right at all, and I absolutely feel for them. Smaller is committing to a 2-stop, maybe an SMM or an SMH, who knows. But right now, we're coming to the DRS zone, and Cravenous is making a move on the right-hand lane here. Oh, 10-10, the camp is some good clean racing. Both have got DRS. A beautiful switch by Cravenous does not yield any fruit at the moment. Coming through the hard braking corner, and there's no luck. We're about to go through the final banked right-hander, the 2 last right-handers on this very short and iconic racetrack located in the heart of Northern Europe. Let's see what happens here. Cravenous has got the DRS. All this fighting is still given 10-10 the DRS, but he's stopped pushing. Through his 10-10 has also stopped pushing, and that will keep them for now in 4th and 5th respectively.
We're on board with Aya just further down the field. He's got the DRS on Cod Camper, and no hiding in corners for Aya. He has taken the charge there to clarity and into 12th.
Lovely. Nice and lovely. And I think that guy who missed out on qualifying 1 due to the rain coming at the last and worst possible time is looking somewhat close for a move in the background.
There's plenty of fights happening. It's really hard to decide who's to get on board with. We've got Josie left behind Greg.
Yes, let's see what this AlphaTauri's going to do for defense. Is he going to fight him?
Just
knowing the fact that... please, Joseph.
That's my advice.
Yes.
There's plenty of space in front of Greg to drive off into if he make that move.
Yes, please. I think he's listening to the stream, which is very good advice, and you should too by following us over on IIRL. And it looks like Joseph Hales has done a nice clean move around using the middle lane of the circuit, slowing it down there, making sure that Greg can't get past, and that is the Ferrari into 6th place.
And another Ferrari of Jacob, looking to get past Barbar into 8th place. Richie
looks like,
as well has gone under the radar here. Richie has only raced in AT1 once other race this season. So, without an awful lot of practice behind his back, I can imagine, Richie is holding his own there. So
that is good. He did climb 2 positions off the start on the medium tyres, so he's on the right tyre now to start gaining some pace. As a yellow flag as the Mercedes of TD is off. Again, no damage sustained to the Mercedes, but it's not an ideal start here for the Merc driver.
yeah,
Sure you can hear...
That'd be the curb of death. That was referred to earlier on.
Aha, the curb of death. I call it the sergeant curb, but let's see here what we have got. It actually looks like at the front of things as well, Richie is feeling pretty rich inside themselves, knowing they've done that, and Jakob has got past Barber, as you can all see on screen now. Beautiful move using the right-hand lane. We have got a situation where one of the front driver's flashing lights is showing on for battery, and there's another one behind as TD gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane and retired in the pits. Unfortunate there to see. It looks like that Snacks could be on course to take a 2nd place when they decide to use... Oh, they're going to try it soon, I feel. Their battery is coming down. I think it could happen any moment. Let's see what these two are up to. We've also got 10-10 holding on very well, along with Cravenous. Let's see here, coming through the final start-finish straight for lap number 11 of this race. It's not going to be enough. They're not going to go for the move just yet, I don't feel, unless if there's a whoopsie from a driver. Just don't look at the chat, everybody. Just don't look at it. If you may want to, time them out, Sun God, you're more than welcome to do so. Meanwhile, Top Gun is having a great old fight with Barber, and it looks like the Williams driver is sneaking through the left lane. These two are fighting all throughout the first second in the background. Don Williams gets ahead here, and that's a great move, one they needed to have done, especially considering those hards are going to start feeling more optimum than the mediums at this stage of the race.
TD, was it Joseph Hales? His sword went off at turn 2. Was it Joseph trying to get past by any chance? Yes, he says. So, yes, we did mention on stream Joseph Hales just needs to calm down a little bit. He has got the tyres in hand. Obviously, he is up now into P6 and doing a nice job as things stand. But yeah, just a little bit too aggressive, impatient. However you want to describe it. Snacks makes a move up into 2nd.
Brilliant stuff there from the Aston Martin, the home favourite. But will these two work together, or will they continue to fight? There is a 1.7 second gap, and that's not going to be closed rapidly, but Deflated is on the medium tyres, so that's going to start to feel a little bit worse now relative to those hards.
Yeah, the deg isn't as high on this track, so Deflated right now is just managing his ERS, managing the gap. Obviously with all this battling going on, that's helped Deflated. Josh's battery is low. Snacks will be a safe battery, have used some to get past, so he's probably around half full, I reckon, at this stage in the race. And Snacks obviously will be hoping that in the next 5 or 6 laps, those hard compound tyres will come back to him and start to gain on the leader.
Yes, and I'm sure these two are, wise enough to try and work together. Because they know, obviously, for Josh's sake in the championship, it'll be more advantageous to not fight at all and see if Snacks can close the gap down, or try and maybe trade positions down that start-finish straight before you enter Tarzan Corner. Right, anything going on?
What's Tarzan Corner?
I believe it is I think it's turn 1. I think they've actually called it Tarzan, yeah, I think that's the historical name for it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's called Tarzan.
If it's not, I think we should write an email get a petition to make it called the Tarzan Corner.
Oh, it is actually called Tarzan Corner.
Oh, lovely.
Wow, okay. It is actually called that. Wow. The name of the bend is controversial. There's no clarity about the exact origin. The most famous story is about allotments which had to be removed when the circuit was built. A large-bodied garden owner who was called Tarzan by fellow villagers did not agree with this, and he refused to give up his vegetable garden. This put the whole plan of the circuit into doubt. Only when the mayor's uncle promised Tarzan the bend would be named after him, he agreed. Wow, that is a story for a corner. And in the background, Joseph Hales, on 10 lap softs, has absolutely sailed just past Tarzan Corner there, past Greg. And Greg is going to keep fighting. Obviously, those softs are... You see they're going off? Or are they like food that you could eat? They're not in the best... They're after the best by date, but you can still eat that. Still eat it or not.
Softs will generally speaking, last about 15 laps on this track, maybe 14, depends on how hard you push them. So they'll be okay at this
They'll
stage.
be okay.
But in the next few laps, they will start to see a massive drop-off in grip.
Oh dear, that'll be interesting to look forward to. The gap at the front has extended by over like 5 tenths. The NASCAR style.
Low on energy, they're like flashing on the hour straight in sector 2, so I wonder if Top Hundred has plenty of hours to play with. Just shove a bit on and maybe try and make a move into turn 1.
Let's see here, he's coming up to Tarzan Corner, he's going to take the right. Oh, they're pushing each other. Oh, it's tight.
It's a good move.
It's tight. Brilliant. Great racing by the two of them, hard but fair. And that's the Top Gun into 8th place.
Plenty of fights going on. Obviously, four-way car fight. Four-way car fight for P2, and another four-way car fight for P6. The only other battle is for 10th, Barbar, Aya, and Richie.
Ollie, I don't know what it is about Zandvoort, but it just seems to, in these rules, keep the cars just so close together. Obviously, it's lovely to see, and so far, with a 111.5, it will be deflated as Joseph has spun or something. They got... Oh, they've actually run wide. Has there been contact sustained, I'm wondering?
I think he just went too deep into the braking zone for the chicane. And as the tyres get really worn, if you run ABS off, which I think Joseph is, you will lock up a little bit more, so that might explain why
That's cost him dearly. He has disconnected, so it looks like even that guy's going to get past him, and that could be detrimental to their race. But do you think it'd be wise to carry on the strategy, or maybe come in for an undercut and box onto the hards around here?
Sorry, say that again.
With the fact that now Joseph's race is a little bit off-kilter, maybe box on the hards and go to the end is a wise move, or just stick to the current game plan and go on to the mediums?
I mean, he's currently running out of the points, so if I were him, I would go medium soft and try and get a fastest lap attempt in there. He's got plenty of new sets of tyres with the long start. Everyone's got a brand new set of softs.
Oh wow, apparently there is... We'll have a look at that very insightful comment from JJ that I've just spotted in a second. Once we have gathered a move from 10-10 on the left of Tarzan, but there is no success here as they come through Hugh Holt's corner into Schwlach. I don't know how to say it, it's just like a piece of food. That's how it's typed. That's how it's you know.
Sounded like you threw up a little bit. You're right.
Yeah, probably. To be fair, my voice could probably do a good old Strepsil after this. Right. Who else is... I think Joseph has returned successfully. They just need to find their car and hop back. Oh! There's, wait, what? How does... Top Gun just jumped past Greg and Jakob in the distance. How the devil has that happened?
Top
And
Gun,
he's now fighting
Top-
with Cravenous.
yeah, Top Gun was already on the back of Avenicus earlier this lap, so it must have been some kind of lag.
I see, laggedy lag. Don't we love a bit of lag in sim racing? And of course, we know the Electronic Arts servers are the best for gaming I think the world ever has. Wouldn't you agree?
I'm not going to say anything.
No comment. But coming round the middle of the final back straight into Tarzan corner, it looks like the Garden of Eden has been secured for Top Gun's mindset, or grindset as I'm calling it, because this is just like Silverstone. He's absolutely carving his way through the order on those hards. He's treating it like a game of Fruit Ninja. Every car is a fruit to slice through. And the Top Gun is up to 5th place and is genuinely on the hunt for the top drivers, who currently, one of them has netted the fastest lap voucher at this stage, and that is Deflated Wee Wee with a 1:11.535. Joseph Hales has just boxed onto another pair of softs, so they might want to try and go for that lap. Avenicus, oh, you don't say the Crave. Well, the Crave sounds more funny because it's like a craving to be.
So he was called
Avenicus.
Avenicus, but then I think added CRE. I think it must be some kind of...
Username thing. Oh, it's a... That's interesting. I've never seen a league kind of denotation where they use a small letter. That is interesting. Very, very good. Distinctive branding.
I might be wrong. Oh,
Yeah, because... Oh, what's happened? Oh, hello, we got to move into Tarzan. Avenicus, I got it right this time, has moved through into 5th place, taking it back from Top Gun as they come through. I'm not going to say that corner, the corner where you sound like you throw up, has indeed moved into 5th spot.
Top Gun's making a habit of this. He qualified 20th at Silverstone.
That's right.
Managed to finish 4th.
Somehow.
So,
Somehow. He seems to be a specialist in the last to first challenge. Maybe that's what he practices during the week. Fair enough, I guess. You don't win points on a Saturday, you only win them on a Sunday.
I know some drivers, like Joseph Hills, for example, can't make quali sometimes when it starts. So I think maybe for Top Gun on Thursdays, it's just a little bit tied up until, say, 8 o'clock, for instance, our local time.
Like what? Tied up? What do I need to phone the police? Is there any serious trouble going on?
Maybe just busy or eating or whatever.
Okay.
Working.
Life.
But not
Oh.
literally tied up.
Speaking of being tied up in something, in the pit stop, Richie's got a 5-second penalty for speeding, but Avenicus, eventually I'll get it right, has moved on to the hard compound tyres. Barbar has jumped onto the hard tyres, and we've got Richie on the hards, who's doing quite well under the radar. Actually, the clouds are starting to get a bit dark. I wonder if the waterworks called rain is about to turn on any moment now. I'm wondering. Obviously, the drivers. Yes. I will get the hang of it. You keep spamming me that TD until I get it right. I will allow you to do that. It's good for our algorithmic engagement. In fact, if it's good for the algorithm engagement, I might just say it wrong on purpose, and then you all keep responding. Who knows? But we've now got Snacks, who's about 8 tenths off. The closest battle I can see is Joseph Hales and Barber, as Barber makes the move around the right-hand side of Sergeant Corner. And so is Joseph Hales to the inside. They're about to go onto the DRS straight now, but Barber doesn't have any DRS. In the background, we've got Richie, who's got a fresh pair of hards, trying to make a move, not coming to anything. Joseph is trying to do a Hail Melon again to get past the Barbar. The Barbar is at a yellow flag. Is it Jacob? It is Jacob. He's lost his front wing. There's some sort of contact there. I think it could have been with Ira and Greg, and that's not going to be ideal for the Ferrari driver, number 93. And his teammate is coming up to Tarzan corner. He used all the battery possible, but is going to jump through on a fresh pair of softs as opposed to Barbar's hards.
Jacob was battling with Greg. There or thereabouts, so I think maybe just an unforced error into out of turn 1. That's what my gut says. But he definitely was battling with Greg.
And Greg has just run wide. Greg has lost a bit of front wing as well. So I think there's a bit of touchy going on between these two. And I'm sure they might have some words to say to each other afterwards, maybe, I don't know. Having said that...
It's turning. We'll probably be going into the pits now anyways.
I mean, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. With a bit of braking, it is manageable. But, yeah, it's not. Yeah. They're both in. Yes, they both slow down in time. So, it is a pair of mediums onto the Scarlet car. As for the AlphaTauri, it is a pair of mediums as well. The Williams... both.
Yes. Yeah. So, contact between the two.
Okay. In Discord, I post a track later with corners. Thank you so much, JJ. I'm sure I'll have a look at them either after this or if we get a safety car or a VSC. Then we'll have a funny name at the corner names, because I'm not really good with corner names at all. I don't know about you, Stat God, but I know hardly any corner names at all. I know the numbers of them roughly, but not the names themselves.
I know a few, but you know, sometimes knowing the corner names is secondary. I think calling the action spot on is,
exactly, and that's what we do best. That pit lane, I don't know what kind of substances they were on, but they were proving their Red Bull records, weren't they? That was almost alien speed, honestly. Actually, one time I remember playing Formula 1 2002 and actually seeing an alien UFO in the sky around Spain in a replay camera. But that means, through all that pit stop commotion, Aya is up to 3rd place and can do a defensive job for Josh and 1010 to help his teammate Snacks grab the 2nd place.
It looks like hit this lap.
Oh, does he?
Well, he's got a 3-second lead on Snacks, but now we've got Josh and 1010 who have just boxed this lap onto a brand new set of tyres. And if the undercut is as powerful around this track as it is on most tracks this game, chances are they may lose a second this lap just with the undercut. So if I were deflated on Snacks, I'd be in this lap, get on a new set of tyres and try and keep your position.
Okay, fair enough. Especially because the fact that Aya is not behind. They're not. They're going to stay out. Oh, Snacks is in though. Looks like Snacks been listening to our wonderful commentary as they are in. The Aston Martin pit crew are coming out in box number 7. And it looks like a pair of medium tyres there for the home hero in the number 52. Snacking at the opportunity for the win. His teammate Aya will move over to 2nd. Josh is in front. What about 1010? Coming through Tarzan now. It's not enough. Nibal Avenicus has moved up in the 6th place ahead of that guy who's on twin level mediums. But Snacks has lost out to Josh. So it looks like the undercut is that overpowered. But Josh is going to be held up by Aya and using all the power to try and get past. They're wiggling past. I tell you, they are more impatient than waiting in a queue for a Tesco meal deal here. They are desperate to get a move on. And I can tell you from my campus itself, it's always like this every day. And it looks like Josh is really desperate to get past.
Oh, he's forced him into a mistake. That is absolutely brilliant driving there from Josh.
Commiserations, Aya. I think if I was them, I'd want to make sure my teammate would not be held up too much by boxing this lap. Or you could stay out on those tyres and maybe hold up 10-10 for a bit and see if you can kind of, you know, gap the leaders a bit, kind of segregate the fight. So
I was about to bring up this point. Is Deflated staying out on the mediums to go soft
no, he's not.
on the second
he's
run?
On the softs.
And he is on the softs. He is going medium soft. He's got 15 laps to go. He will be overtaken by Josh.
His teammate is past. Just.
This is now tyre advantage. Match made in the heavens. Deflated right behind his teammate. 19 points behind the championship. He needs to beat Josh tonight, and he wants that fastest lap in the process.
I mean, who doesn't want to have £10? Come on. Who doesn't want to have £10? Fair enough. If you missed a Monopoly, you're probably £10 is kind of useless in that game. But let's see what we've got here from deflated wee. He's not really deflated at all, but he seemed to be on rails in that car with the Max Verstappen mod installed. He's going to try and find a move. Having said that, Josh's tyres are quite fresh. But if Deflated wants to win this Grand Prix, they'll need to get past their teammate right now. And I don't know if Red Bull have team orders or not. I don't believe so, because they're fighting very well all season for the championship. But will this be the pressure point? Here comes the Red Bull of Deflated to the middle, going into Tarzan. He's got the move done before we even reach the Junglian corner. And thus, it's the Deflated, the 54 in front of the 30-odd number driver. And now Deflated needs to absolutely pull away like a husky carrying us Father Christmas's presents in the North Pole. Otherwise, there is no way. But with the tyres decreasing around the final few laps, this appears to be able to be sustained. They have also got a purple sector 1, so watch out for that Amazon voucher. It could go the way of Deflated.
I think Joseph Hales has the fastest lap at this moment in time. Just check.
I'll have a look. Yes,
I'll
I'll have a look. 11.0. Fair enough.
This could be a really good opportunity here for Deflated, and if Deflated does get this fastest lap, he needs to hope and pray there is no more safety cars in this race.
But even so, wouldn't most drivers have enough softs to make the safety car work? Because they only use 2 for qualifying. 2 sets.
Well, it doesn't really matter about qualifying because we had the lobby restart. So, all the time.
Oh, yes. Oh, it's a 1 minute 10.6.
The time
it's not clear that.
Doesn't exist anymore.
Just magically disappeared. Yeah. It's like Pirelli owned by a Chinese government or something. I don't know how they were able to make tyres that quickly. But Deflated Wee does secure the fastest lap of the race so far with a 10.6. And it is enough to push Josh out of the DRS range, which means Deflated now needs to use the power of the red compound and pull away from his teammate. His teammate will have the pace at the end of the race, but not now while his teammate's on the fastest but most tyre degrading compound, even if it is predominantly low. Interestingly, I see an Alfa Romeo coming to bits of Jellyman Tim off the hards. They have got a pair of red wall tyres on. I'm wondering if they're going for that £10 voucher or want to do it purely for the sake of it. Who knows?
Yellow flag.
As a yellow
smiley after turn 1. Had a spin.
Yes. He's spun, but he's kept the. Oh, and he's lost the front wing end plate on the right hand side. He'll be kicking himself down with that one. He'll probably want to have a stake.com after this race, as it looks like the odds are stacked against the Alfa Romeo driver. But let's see what can happen here. You never know, races can get chaotic, and there is still approximately 7 laps for a nice safety car to come out. You never know.
1010 looks quick on these hard compound tyres. He is all over the back of Snacks. He's putting them under more pressure than a hydraulic press.
Indeed, he is hydraulically pressing him down. He is very, very keen to get past, and those tyres will have no issues for the rest of the race. Those hards, the mediums won't, but they'll struggle. It's the Alfa Romeos are getting past each other. That's okay. Good teamwork there. Let's see what the Haas can do. Coming through the final corners of this lap with a beautiful aerial shot on my POV. I'm sorry to all you Twitch audience that you've got an inferior camera angle for this. Smaller has retired in the pit lane, so we have lost 2, it seems. And there is going to be a caution through here, which means there will be no overtaking. But now they can make the overtake work. It's going to be a battle around the left of Tarzan, all the way wide. Those 10-10 Snacks desperately trying to defend this. Is this their home Grand Prix? Trying to switch back to 10-10 by taking the wide line from Shrivia into Vomit Corner. And it's not quite enough for 10-10. Meanwhile, Avenicus, I'll eventually get it right by the end of the season, is sitting pretty with all this because they are probably just having a lot of snacks right now, just watching this amazing battle and not having their tyres heat up and degrade. Also, Richie's moved up to 7th place, just calmly in the background. I mean, they've got a penalty to serve, but still, considering the lack of practice. generally, most likely.
Richie, Barbar, and Vanicus were the first ones to pit, so they got a giant undercut on the likes of Aya, Jacob, Greg, who have all had some kind of issues with wing damage or pace or consistency, something like that. Richie and Barbar have gone from out of the points to in the points. Very good, clean driving.
Yes, we love to see it, although if a safety car came out, that wouldn't be ideal for their plans. They would hopefully not want a single safety car to the end then, I would think.
They should get points, even with their time penalties. Richie got 5 seconds between the pits, Barbar got 3 seconds for track limits. Both of them should stay ahead of Jacob, who is in the points himself.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no, but Jacob has a penalty himself, so it would be Greg. And yes, Aya would move up into 7th place, according to the numbers, but it would be enough, you're right, to keep them in 9th and 8th respectively.
Elon Musk mod. That's a new one.
Musk mod. Well, if you're going to have a Musk mod, this would have to be streamed on X to start off with, and the cars will have a single... what's the word? Sound available. Hello, Mr. George Plaster. How many... I hope you haven't got a plaster on you physically, because that would be a sign you're in danger, but I hope you're doing well.
Yeah, how you doing, George, mate? It has been a topsy-turvy race. It started off a little bit fast and frantic and impatient from Sam. I'm not going to name any names. But it's been fascinating. This battle has been going on for a lap since the pit stops. So I gets ahead now into 8th place, but will want to use those mediums to get past. This battle for the podium has been going on all race. Leviticus is happy to sit behind, conserve the energy, wait for a mistake, and capitalise, which I think is very clever indeed.
Very, especially considering their tyre wear is on the more side than the other two. I don't know, maybe Snacks hasn't got as much tyre wear. How's the championship actually, that's a good question.
I'm just popping it now for you.
Yes, we've got Josh in the lead on 179 points, Deflated Wee on 160 points, 153 points to 1010, and yourself there on 109 with CM21 on 67 there. So, but that's without this race. So, let's see. Snacks has defended successfully against 1010 here, who's trying everything they can at their disposal. Get past that Aston Martin car, funded by the Saudi Arabian Wealth Fund, as Aya uses that oil money to their advantage and sails their way through into 7th before Tarzan Corner. Excellently deployed with the battery gains there with Richie, and that is the Aston Martin into P7, legitimately on the road. No need to worry about penalties now, and it's good stuff. If they can pull out the DRS train, and something happens to Top Gun, then you never know. You never know.
That guy's made a move past Jacob into P10. No time penalties for that guy. So may be able to get Richie and Barbar on at the end of the race. Richie 5, Barbar 3.
Well, that would mean that that guy would need to be within about 30 seconds on the overall leader tally. 30.7 and about 29 from the other car, as what Barbar's having a fight. There's a close defensive drive going on here as Cravenus has boxed again.
Yeah, he's gone for the fastest lap.
But are they going to be stuck behind the traffic of Aya? Is this going to be costly? Have they given themselves enough time to make this plan work? Just about. But that was way too risky than what it's worth here. My oh my. My oh my. As
It sounds like a ridiculous concept, but he's lost 1 place.
And
so
you get to win £10.
Avenicus has sacrificed 2 points for £10, possibly, if he gets the fastest lap. That's actually a very, very clever decision.
That is a very wise one. I'm sure that £10 will go a long, long way. I mean, heck, if it allows them to have 3 lovely cups of Costa coffee, then it's all worth it, I think. As deflated still in front. 10-10 though is down in, but not just get past, but clear the DRS zone of Snacks, which is very significant to the race. If Snacks was to pit, they would be, is it 20 seconds around here or is it 25? It's, I think it would just put them behind Barbar, I think. Indeed, Steely, £10 we're gonna get you 2 Tesco meal deals, so that's 100% worth it in of itself. I couldn't agree with you more. You know, that's a very precious sanctity. That sushi is a life essential to keep going.
So
oh, that's true.
I think so. He's lost about 40. I think he lost 17 seconds in the pits. Roughly. So roughly. I think, 17 seconds should do you alright. Which means, for instance, if Joseph Hales wants to box, he won't lose a position to Cobb Camper, and he'll have at least 7 times on the car.
That would be good. And speaking of good things, this Evenica's lap time could be strong enough to take the fast lap voucher away. Remember, it's a 10.6 from deflated wee. Let's see what happens here, rolling around the final corner, coming up to Tarzan any moment now. Venica sets a 1 minute 9.9.
I need to check, that might be a record.
Is that the record? Is that a brand new record? I will improvise as I always do. As we can see here, that guy has made a good move here, going into Tarzan on Jakob on the left-hand side of the race course there. I don't think it's picking up on the front battle, which sees Snacks go a little bit wide there, sadly, so that could put them out. Although, having said that, if they went for the fastest lap voucher, they could gift themselves back to £10. So that's not a bad outcome at all for Snacks. We got Top Gun again with a very impressive drive in 5th place. That guy with a 3-second time penalty here. So that could be interesting for the end of the race. We got Bar Junior in 9th, with Richie in 8th and Aya in 7th. On the fastest lap gimmick, it is still Avenicus with the fast lap. Nobody has pitted to join Avenicus. I'm wondering if some of these guys, maybe like Jakob, Greg, Padge, Joseph, and Cod Camper, would have a go at the fastest lap. I mean, we've seen the track evolution here. It's gone from a 110 to a 199. So if the drivers are feeling lucky and are saving some battery, you might want to pit within the next few laps or so. I could see maybe 1, 2, 3 drivers, 4, going for this tactic, as they have got nothing to lose by being in the points. Maybe Avenicus has opened a Pandora's box for what times we could see today.
Avenicus officially has the IRL race record. Previous lap was a 1 minute 10.4, held by one of the all-time greats in this league, AMS Fairley. So,
oh wow,
that lap time will take some beating. I doubt 82 will be quick enough. No offence to that Sunday. So certainly for
what are you saying? We're the best division in the world. What are you talking about? Our group is the best group we've ever had.
If you beat that lap time on Sunday night, I will be pushing you up to 81 immediately.
Okay then, alright. That's fair enough. If I beat that lap time, fair enough. Fair enough. That's deserved.
I think that was just how good the lap was from Avenicus. I mean, I know these cars are pretty quick on this game. It's a good fight here between Jacob, that guy, and Greg's just lying in the way. That guy's lost out on a couple of places there. It's not too many fights. There's that battle for 10th. There's a battle between Richie and Aya, but Richie's got the 5-second penalty.
Oh, there's a yellow flag. I think it's an Alfa Romeo. Sorry to jump in there. I'm wondering, is there damage to the Jellyman? Oh, there's a yellow flag on Barbar has lost it on Sergeant Corner. Cod Camper with a 5-second time penalty. Unfortunately, none of this would net as a safety car, so it's not even worth all the chaos. At all, Cod Camper's going to go for the fastest lap. They're leaving it very late. I'm wondering if they'll have enough time to do it. But I think they... Wait a minute, the Red Bulls have jumped them, haven't they? Oh no. It's only one lap down, it's not too bad.
Sorry. He's run out of fuel with a whole lap left.
Oh.
Now, this track is actually ridiculous for fuel usage. If you've driven on this track, you'll realise that you will lose maybe a lap or two of fuel. Barbar has run out of fuel a lap too early. That's how bad the fuel is on this track. So please take heed, AT2 drivers.
Get your notepads out. I've already written that on my whiteboard. I'm not even gonna lie. That is, yeah. And that fuel was a lot of fuel, I will say. I had a look on the little cockpit personally. It was a lot of fuel lost. So, yeah, because you've got to bear in mind, if they were a lap down at that point, they had to do another lap to get to the lead lap. So, yeah, that was...
there's absolutely nothing Barbar could do in that situation. It's not like you can pit and go for fastest lap because you've got no fuel. You're just going to be trundling around. You're going to be losing places. You're going to finish on the 16th anyway, so... He's retired instead, but Inflated has, I'd say he's managed this race absolutely beautifully. It seemed an odd strategy, going medium soft, but
it's worked.
He got the lead off the start, which was important. He built the gap before the pit stops. There was no safety car, which really helped him. And yeah, he's at the pace to beat his teammate, so he will claw back 7 points in the championship.
Yeah,
Josh
which will
be 12 ahead.
That is going to be great news for this driver. It's the team that is driven by Max Verstappen in real life. It's a Red Bull domination at the moment, with Deflated Wee leading the charge this time with an excellent medium to soft strategy.
Oh, it's a race to the line! Avenicus! He's got Top Gun on the line by 56 milliseconds.
56 milliseconds!
Fair play.
Aya is in 7th there. Great drive to come back from 15th and the last of the qualifiers up into the points. Jakob, wait, Richie's run out of fuel!
Yeah, Richie's run out of fuel too!
Oh, commiserations there. Jakob in 8th for now, but realistically with the penalty they'll be down to 11th. Greg will then move up to 8th, that guy 9th, and Richie, despite running out of fuel on the line, is in 11th, move up to 10th. Joseph Hales will finish in 12th, Padge 13th, Jellyman Tim 14th, and Cod Scampy in 15th place.
So Jacob's 10-second penalty from Belgium last week will put him below Richie. Richie will get a point. And he's deserved one tonight. So well done, Richie. You have got a point tonight on 20-lap old hard compound tyres.
And running out of fuel on the final corner of the last lap.
Too.
Oh, jeepers. So if you want to privately tell us how much fuel you put in, Richie and Padge, I'm sure.
Joseph Hayes got fastest lap.
Wait, what?
He did a 1 minute 9.3. I didn't see it. He absolutely bossed that. That is a new record by 1.1 seconds.
Crumbs. Well, that was a stunning lap, and this is your amazing 3 on the podium. Commiserations to Snacks, and thank you so much, Amigo, for giving up the £10 today, which will be going to Joseph Hale's bank account. And hopefully he can enjoy 2 Tesco meal deals with that lovely, lovely £10 voucher. Good driving there from the 2 Red Bulls in a good... Oh, it's Deflated. a little bit in a new league. And it is Deflated who wins from Josh, then 10-10 with Snacks in 4th, the home hero, Avenicus in 5th, Top Gun in 6th, doing a great drive from the back once again, Aya with a great drive from the back to finish in 7th place, Jakob will be down to 11th place after his penalty supply, Greg in 9th, that guy 10th, and Richie 11th, Joseph Hales indeed setting a 1 minute 9.3. You may want to show the race director actually to review all the incidents in case if anybody does complain on the stream. We've got Padge in 13th, Jennyman Tim 14th, God Camper 15th, Barbar 16th, Smaller Noise and TD 18th. Let's quickly go through all the incidents and fly through them just in case if anybody says something. And that is really good, everybody. I am impressed considering this is a circuit where you would think more accidents would happen. It's amazing how, actually, we didn't have that many at all. How many could you count? I could count them on maybe one hand, I think.
Yeah, not a lot, but, you know.
Also, how is your Xbox black like that? Did you put the inverted settings on? That looks way past cool. Looks like it's from
yes,
Tron.
I did. It's awful for typing messages on Xbox, but it looks cool. So.
Do you want me to invite people, or are we just bringing in the podium?
That's right, I have invited a few people along, just waiting for Josh to join, but in the meantime, let's have a chat with Deflated Wii. It seemed like a perfect performance tonight. Great strategy. Seemed a bit odd on the medium soft, but you made it work. How was that tonight for you?
I'm just happy I had a good race. Bit too long to have one of those. And the end of the stints was stressful because of the tyre wear, but it was alright. Yeah, I'm surprised more people didn't do it. I saw Josh on the halves, I was like, we're in money here.
And how much fuel did you have at the end? We saw at least 3 people run out of fuel tonight.
I would have done, but like in the middle of the race, I was fuel saving a bit. I think I had like 0.3 laps. Well, I started with over 2 laps then. And after the first 10 laps, I lost like a lap of fuel, so I was like, save a bit here.
Well, you closed the gap on the championship leader to 12 points, so you must be happy with that.
That's what it was.
And Monza next week. Thoughts, Deflated?
I'm scared because Joseph's going to be sweating. I think my pace is decent at Monza, but when I compare to everyone else's, and it's not as good as I think. But I don't know. We'll just see what happens. I'm not sure yet.
Lovely. Well, many congratulations. 25 points, and I think 2nd race winner this season. So yeah, very, very well done. Congratulations. Josh, P2, quite, I would say, comfortably in the end, but just didn't quite have the pace maybe to catch Deflated tonight.
Yeah, I mean, basically what I have to say is the same as last week. Yeah, just Deflated was a bit quicker today. I got held up by Aya when I was getting the undercut, and it just took me a while to get past him, so that cost me a bit of time. And maybe if I didn't lose time there, I could have stayed in his DRS, then it's a different story because his tyres died off. But yeah, he definitely probably did have more pace over the race, which is, like I said last week, I need to sort it out because my race pace isn't great. But well, I mean, I say that, and then again, it was only Deflated who was ahead. But yeah, I think it's just the start of the race in the first stint. I lose quite a lot of time just getting myself like into the race really. So I just need to work on the start of the race, early first stint, and then if I can just sort that out, I think I'll be alright in the races. But yeah, apart from that, really, a bit eventful in the first stint with Snacks, but once I pitted, it was just a bit of a boring race, to be fair.
And was that a perfect quali lap? Your 20th pole tonight?
Nah, there was definitely time in it. Sector 1 was awful, I'll be honest. Put the last corner a bit cautious, but that was just because I knew I had it, so I didn't want to risk it. But yeah, could have been a little bit better, but 15.8 at best maybe. But yeah, it was enough for pole, so I knew I had the best of the conditions as well, so I just didn't want to take any risks, like pushing too hard, which is probably why the first sector wasn't great. But yeah, the middle sector was mighty. So just give it a 8 out of 10.
Wow, I feel really slow now. And Monza next week. Thoughts?
Better than last game. Don't know what pace it's going to be like, but I'll do a bit of practice and we'll see. I imagine Joseph will probably be the quickest on paper if he is sorting it out. And then obviously the normal people will be up there, so I'll be happy with a podium next week, to be honest. But I mean, if something happens, you never know. So yeah, it's better than last game, so I'll definitely go and get a similar result. Well, want to get a similar result anyway. Then if anything goes my way, you never know, do a bit more.
Lovely. On to 10-10 then. Third place. That was a cracking fight with Snacks. It just seemed like once you put those hard compound on, you were very comfortable in the end.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, to be honest, I don't think ours was the right decision in the end. But I thought I need to try something different to everyone else if I want a shot at potentially winning. Maybe if something was to happen, and I had better tyre wear at the end. That was my thinking behind it, but ultimately the drop off in the hards is quite similar to the mediums, so you know the offset sort of stays the same throughout the stint, so there's almost no point using the hards. I probably would have been better off using softs. Whether I would have got Josh, I don't know. Probably P3 was the best I could do, because their pace was really good tonight. But yeah, it was an okay race. A couple of battles, a battle with Vinicus, or however you pronounce his name, and Snacks. It was clean and fair, so I love it.
Sounds pretty good. And Monza next week?
Yeah, I've not driven it on this game yet, to be honest. So it'll just be a nice surprise. I like the track. I do like Monza. It can be a bit frustrating to race at sometimes, but I do like driving it.
Lovely. Well, we will make a decision on driver of the day after the stream. Congratulations to Joseph Hales with a new race record, 1 minute 9.3. And just while you three lads are here in the party, George Plaster was in the chat and said he might come back next week as he's got a week off work, so that's something to look forward to. This Red Bull domination's getting a bit boring, I think.
Actually, before you three all go, I'm curious for the Red Bull drivers. Do you guys have like any Max Verstappen mods installed? I'm just wondering, based on how electric this season is going.
Oh, I wish I did. To make things easier.
Well, join us on Sunday night for Assist Tier 2. Remember, this is our last Assist Tier 2 race for the next 3 weeks.
Oh.
So you do want to join us for that. Me and Marlboro hopefully won't be colliding on track.
I hope not. No, I don't think we would. I hope not. No, I hope not. Honestly, that would be. Oh no, that would be sparks flying otherwise.
And next week, as we said, we have the Monza Grand Prix, so back at the Festival of Speed for another flat-out track. It's flat-out action, and we are well into the second half of the season. We only have, goodness, how many races
not
left?
Many races left.
9 races left of the season, and we finished just before Christmas, so that just shows you how close Christmas is as well.
And how long the calendar is.
Thank you very much, Marlboro, for joining me on the stream tonight. You've been an absolute legend commentating the race, and the chat have loved you as well. So thank you, chat, as well, for your engagement. We'll see you on Sunday night for Assist Tier 2. And next week we'll be in Monza. Have fun, and see you in a week.
See you in a week, everyone. Hopefully.